Well, look, it's obviously disappointing when you don't win votes in Parliament, but of course we start off in the House of Lords by not having a majority in it. You know, that the numbers are against us, but we thought it was a sensible proposal about unlocking the ability to build about 100,000 homes with some sensible changes to the rules that we're unable to do now, where we put some very good mitigations in place to protect water quality, which is obviously very important. And we'll obviously have to now, it only happened this evening, we'll obviously have to reflect on what the most sensible next steps are to make sure we can build the houses that the country needs.
Your ministerial colleague Hugh Merriman heard from your own MPs that they hate the ticket office closures. It looks as though hundreds of thousands of people have written in complaining about the ticket office closures. Shouldn't you just drop that plan?
Well, look, these are proposals from the train operating companies to reflect, actually, what passengers actually now do. Most people, 90% of people who use trains, do not buy tickets from ticket offices. They either buy them online...
So why do your Tory colleagues hate the closures?
Well, so what the train operating companies are proposing is to take staff out of ticket offices, get them into the station, onto platforms, closer to customers, to help customers deal with their journeys. Now, some of the train operating companies have made very solid proposals there. Some still have work to do. You refer to the people responding to the consultation. It's a consultation. What the train operating companies now have to do under the process is listen to what their customers have told them. In some cases, they'll have to modify the proposals that they've got out there. And then if they can't reach agreement with the groups representing passengers, those decisions then have to come to me. And we've been very clear that this is about, it's not about no station that's currently got staff will become unstaffed. It's about making sure you get staff where passengers need them, which is out in the station, on the platforms, able to assist those customers that need the help.
Now, I haven't got a lot of time, but you're obviously trying to be slightly emollient. And can I sort of read from what you're saying that you think there's a chance that some offices, ticket offices, will remain open?
Well, look, what this is about is not about the ticket office, or it's about where the staff are based. 90% of passengers don't buy tickets from ticket offices.
Yeah, but,
so
but
the staff in the ticket offices
but there are some people who will struggle with the machines.
There are.
Yeah, go on.
Which is why the point is to get the staff out of the ticket office, into the station, accessible for all of the passengers. And then what the train operating companies have to do is make sure they've got proposals in place to deal with those passengers that need the support. So, for example, the ability to sell a ticket with a mobile machine to a passenger that needs that, a customer that needs that support. And that's what they need to make sure their proposals do, that they take account of their disabled customers, those customers that can't use the machines. And that's what we'll be looking at when we look at those proposals.
And I haven't got much time, but I just want to press you on something that's very much on people's minds at the moment, which is this so-called triple lock, the formula that keeps pensions rising. Prime Minister said he's absolutely wedded to it, but he won't say whether it'll be in your manifesto. Why won't he say whether it'll be in your manifesto?
Well, look, I was in Prime Minister's questions today, and you're absolutely right. The Prime Minister made it clear that we're committed to the triple lock. He also made it clear that we're the party that introduced the triple lock.
Sure, this is just a manifesto. So why not just say it'll be in your manifesto?
Well, because you wouldn't, Robert, you wouldn't expect us to write our manifesto for the next election.
I would on something as important as this to so many millions of people.
Well, as soon as we started answering questions about one thing, you just move on to the next thing. I think people can judge us by what we've done. We introduced the triple lock. We've delivered the triple lock. We've now got pensioner poverty reduced. We've had a significant rise in pensions. And the Prime Minister made it very clear in the House of Commons today that we are committed to delivering on the triple locks.
As I think you know, we've got Mick Lynch, leader of the RMT, on the show. Strikes are still going on. He's warning they could go on for another year. You haven't seen him for ages. He's quite keen to see you. Do you want to extend an olive branch and tonight sort of say, yes, you'd be delighted to see him?
Well, look, when I met with him last time, I made it clear that I would facilitate fair and reasonable offers for his members. And we had a fair and reasonable offer for his members that work for Network Rail, which he put to his members, and his members overwhelmingly accepted it. 90% turnout, 76% in favour. He's got fair and reasonable offers on the table from the train operating companies, with a reasonable offer and some reform. For reasons that I don't understand, you might want to ask him. He won't put that fair and reasonable offer to his members. The members that belong to the TSSA and the Unite Union have had the offer put to them and they've accepted it, but he won't put it to his members. Now, I think that's very reasonable, and I think they should put it to their members and let their members decide.
I obviously will ask him why he's not doing that, but, you know, there are millions of people watching whose lives are being disrupted by these strikes. I think they would say, what have you got to lose by meeting him?
Well, because when people say that, what they want to do is have us throw more money at them, and the people watching this programme need to understand that the money that were being thrown at the unions is their money. And, you know, if you take the train drivers, which is the other union still in dispute, average pay is £60,000 a year for a 4-day, 35-hour week. The pay rise on the table would take that to £65,000 a year. Now, I don't think that is unreasonable, but again, they won't put that to their members either. So I think that, look, there are fair and reasonable pay offers, which are fundamentally funded by the taxpayer, because the rail companies are losing a significant amount of money post-pandemic.
But I think the fact that you're saying it's funded by the taxpayer is why people think, well, you should be talking, not the companies. I mean, you're underwriting all this.
But we facilitated, which is what I was asked to do at the beginning of this. The negotiations are not between me and the unions, they're between the train operating companies and the unions. I was asked to facilitate fair and reasonable offers. That's what I did. I did my part of the job. Those offers are on the table, waiting for the unions to pick them up and ask their members what they think. And I think they should ask their members and see what they say. And I think their members would accept those offers because they are fair and reasonable and in the interests of the industry that we're trying to support.
Mark Harper, as always, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.